So we're 3 videos into this series. We're gonna get into some really cool stuff today. But first, let's recap what we did in the first 2 videos, and it might also give you an idea for how you can kind of organize and keep track of everything that you learned and are gonna continue to learn, because Casino can be a dance that's kind of difficult to conceptualize. There's a lot. In the first video, we showed 3 positions. We had the follow in front of the lead in closed position, had the follow over on the lead's right shoulder, and then over in open position on the lead's left arm. And each of those positions has its own basic step. So the basic step just meaning if I want to keep dancing in that same position and not move from one to the next, I would use a basic step. So in closed position, if I want to keep dancing there, I would use the basic step, paso son. If she was over on my right, that has a basic step that we can do to keep dancing with the follow on the lead's right. Or if she was over on my left, we'd use guapea to keep the dance happening in open position. Then we got to the idea of moving the follow from one position to the next. So we started with her in closed position, brought her over to the right, and then when she was on our right, we brought her from our right in front of us, and then over to the left with dile. We kept that same concept going in the second video and introduced a couple of very common turns, enchufa and paseala, which both take the follow from the lead's left in front and then over to the right. And both of those turns have a lot of variations that we can combine to make different turn sequences. We also added some rotation in closed position called adios and showed an underarm turn when the follow's on the lead's right called exhibe. So right there, just in those 2 videos, there's enough that we can make a social dance out of those movements because they all fit together like puzzle pieces and we can combine them in different ways to keep things interesting. So for the leads, as we add more to our turn repertoire, we just have to keep track of where those turns are applicable. So for example, today we're gonna add a couple more single arm turns in open position. So when the follow's on the lead's left, we're gonna do enchufa doble, siete, and para ti, para mi. And so we would just know that when the follow's on the left, those are turns that we could do. If she's on our right, we wouldn't be able to do them. We'd have to do a move that brings her from our right and then over to our left. So ding, 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 dile, if you got that right. Good job. So if we know what position the follow's in, so where she is relative to us, and we know what we know, hopefully, we have an idea of what we can lead at any given moment. And for the follows, you want to keep track of where you are relative to the lead so that you can maintain nice, clear, defined positions, which will help the dance look better. But also for newer follows, you know that if you're on his right, there's only a certain number of turns that you have to worry about, versus if you're in closed position or if you're on his left, so you're not concerned with him throwing a million different things at you at any given time. So today we're also going to introduce having the follow 360 degrees around us, and we're going to do that with dile paseala, rodeo, and dile coca-cola. Hopefully from doing the other videos, you get the idea of alternating steps, and there's no question about what foot the lead or follow is stepping with on any given count, and we can focus more on the lead-follow connection aspects of these turns. Let's start with enchufa doble. So it's gonna start just like enchufa, which hopefully we know how to do already. 1, 2, 3, and instead of pivoting her this way like I would for enchufa, I'm gonna leave her forearm pointed back to where she started, catch her shoulder, bring it back, 5, 6, 7, pivot. So the first 8 is 1, 2, 3, pivot, 5, 6, 7, pivot, and then it finishes just with enchufa. 1, 2, 3, bring it to the right, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So for the leads, you're just walking behind her, opposite motion, opposite motion, opposite, and then you plant yourself and move forward as you bring her to the right, and dile que no. So we're going to do para ti, para mi, and it's all about where I'm going to point her forearm. So I go behind her, starts with enchufa, and then I'm going to point her forearm behind me, walk in front, 5, 6, 7, pivot, then one more enchufa, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, dile que no, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So para ti, para mi goes 1, 2, 3, pivot, 5, 6, 7, pivot, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So all those videos that are all about just getting people walking, pivoting, that's all we're doing for those 2 turns. So for doble, 1, 2, 3, pivot, 5, 6, 7, pivot, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then para ti, para mi just changes with the lead walking in front. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, dile que no. Then we do siete. So siete is nice and easy. We're just gonna wrap her up and unwrap her. So if we go from a basic 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I've got to have tension on her arm because I'm going to be pulling her into me, giving her rotation, and then turning her back up. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And so if she leaves her arm down, what's going to happen is she's going to get trapped like this. So she left it up, and when I pull her in, it's on top. All good. All right, so from basic, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, siete. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And you can also lead it just tossing the hand. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So when she's turning to her right, 1, 2, 3, that's paseala. When she's turning to her left, 5, 6, 7, that turn is coca-cola. And we're not going to use that yet. So now we're just going to add something to all the turns we've been doing. So if we did enchufa, for example, right, 1, 2, 3. All I've done so far is bring her over to the right and pivot to have her face forward. And we did dile que no. We're just going to add a different option here. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to bring her all the way around me. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. And it's just 8 counts of walking in a circle around the lead. So you can add it to any turn. So if we do paseala, 1, 2, 3, rodeo, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And for the leads, we're just doing cross in front, cross in back. Makes it nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So we're doing enchufa and then rodeo. 5, 6, 7, cross in front. 1, 2, 3, cross in back. 5, 6, 7. And she winds up on my right. 5, 6, 7. So speaking of bringing her around me, we can do dile que no, paseala. So it starts dile que no, 1, 2, 3. And from right here, I'm thinking about taking my left hand and connecting it to my right hand by 7. And then right here, I can do the arm wrestle, bro hold to make things a little bit more natural. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Switch the grip, 5, 6, and then bring her back like that. And you can make her life a little bit easier if the leads don't stay in one spot. If I stay in one spot, I'm making her walk quite a bit. But what I want to do is aim to be wherever she just was. So for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to try to go there for 5, 6, 7, and move back 1, 2, 3, bring her across, and just compensate a little bit for the motion. So that's dile que no, paseala. This is where I should have said. If we look at siete, 1, 2, 3. When she turns to her right, those first steps are paseala. 5, 6, 7 is coca-cola. So it's the same thing as paseala, just with her turning to her left. So what we're going to do is going to take dile que no, paseala and put a turn onto it. So I'm going to do it with just one hand at a time. So it starts dile que no, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to let her walk on 5, catch her shoulder on 6, and get her back on 7 so that she doesn't fly off into outer space. And then if she picks her arm up, she can put it on my shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So the tendency, right, for the files is going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and let your momentum carry you out here. And that's going to make everything difficult. And that's when the guys have to try to make up for it by running around you. So on 8, if the foul looks over her left shoulder, and you're going to be holding your balance on your left leg on 7. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So that's dile que no coca-cola. That was good. So we're about to wrap up. If you've been getting something out of these videos and you'd like to help future tutorials come out a little bit quicker, please consider going over to the Patreon page. Just for patrons, I've been putting up recap videos of all the weekly classes. So not just Casino, but Kizomba and Semba. Thank you for everyone who's become a patron so far. It really does help out. We're about to go over everything we've learned today to some music. The music's given to us very generously by a great group out of Miami called PALO. If you haven't gone to check them out yet, please do so. They're fantastic. Stay tuned for part 4. In the meantime, here's the practice. 5, 6, 7, do. Enchufa doble. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Para ti, para mí. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 2. Siete. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. And we'll do rodeo. We'll do enchufa. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. We'll do dile que no paseala. So do vacila. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. We'll do dile que no coca-cola. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7.